You've been on vacation. And now you're about to head back into the office. And what you notice is your brain is already trying to figure out who screwed what up and how you can get ahead of it. And you can feel your blood pressure rising already, and your heartbeat starting to go faster, and your breathing getting shallower. So probably what you think you should do is have more coffee and get down and figure it all out and get ahead of the mistakes. What you're doing is you are putting yourself in fight or flight, and your beautiful brain doesn't have the bandwidth that it would if you already had established rhythms of how you got to work. You understood something's going to have gone awry. It just will. And it's not because my coworkers are not great at what they do. It's because in a system where there are humans, things are gonna go awry. Also, heads up, as a former medical transcriptionist, probably the things that get screwed up are exactly the reason they cannot automate your job. So, just saying. So, for me, what I've noticed is this morning, there are a lot of grumbles from what corporate could do differently, and how we could be a different team if only my management team would sit and listen to us. There's a lot going on. And when I notice it, I come back inside my body. Because when I'm doing that, I'm up here in my head. So I come back into my body and I notice my toes. I hear what's as far away from me as I can hear. I notice what's in the room around me. I notice the temperature on my face, that I can feel the cool on one thigh more than the other because I have a covering on the other, right? So what I do when I notice that I'm doing the spin is I come back to me. I come back to me and I remind myself, be. Whatever shows up, you can handle. Whatever goes wrong is a beautiful invitation to see where we can fit in guardrails so that if that mistake happens again, someone had to jump over a guardrail for that situation to happen again. All right. I have a rhythm of how I come into work. We don't work off the clock. And so I'm not checking my emails yet. I don't work off the clock for my corporate job, where working off the clock can get you fired. So I just don't do it. I also don't believe that it is a reasonable practice. I believe that people who work off the clock, who are supposed to only work on the clock, jack it up for everybody else, because what you're doing is you aren't actually representing what it looks like for a single human to do that job in the many hours that you were clocked in. Okay, rant over. So I have a rhythm of how I come into work. I come into work, I get settled. Things are settled around me, so I am not distracted by the chaos going on my desk. And I used to live in the chaos and I didn't think it bothered me, and maybe it didn't. And now what I know is I can focus differently when my eyes aren't distracted by half-done things on my desk. So I come in, I sit down, and I'm ready. The first thing that I do is I pull my report. This is the equivalent of Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 2 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first hour and a half sharpening my axe. And that's what I do. I come in and I prepare my way because I am the asset. My customers are crazy important. And what my customers actually need is someone who has the bandwidth to tend to them and has the ability to see beyond a problem, has the bandwidth to realize that just solving the problem isn't the fix. Seeing where I can create a system, educate somebody about something, even if that somebody is myself, this is what my client really needs. They need me in my wholeness so that I can tend to them well. A lot of folks come in and the first thing they look for are all of the mistakes so they can get ahead of it. And what they are doing to themselves is they are making it so they are trying to serve others from their cup. How I do it and how I want you, if you want, to learn how to do it is you are well supported by yourself, first and foremost. And then your cup runs over into a saucer, runs out onto the floor, and that's how you water everyone, from your overflowing saucer. It's like one of those multi-layer fountains. Don't serve people from up here. Everyone else gets to drink from down here. All right, it's already 7 minutes. Sum up. You are the asset, love. You having a system of how you show up and you tend to yourself first and serve everyone out of that. Magical. And also, heads up, not everyone else is going to like it. That you are actually getting yourself steady first. So learning how to support yourself first and foremost, that is the best foundation ever. All right. Happy Monday. Love you much. Talk soon.